Welcome back everyone to part 2 of 7.38. In this part we're going to be covering all of the item changes, neutral item changes, and hero changes. And let me tell you, there's a lot. Look at the right side of the screen here. This is what we've covered so far. This is what we have left. So yeah, if you don't have anything to eat, something to snack on, please go get that. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel and liked this video, I'd appreciate it a lot. This obviously takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and I'm going to be sharing all of the knowledge that I have in the top of my head with you guys, keeping you up to date with the meta, what's going on with this patch, and let's get into it. All right. On top of that, go sign up to the Game League website, guys. I'm posting new content over there almost every day, and I'll see you there. Let's start with the item changes. First of all, we have Block of Cheese, which never comes into play. I've literally never seen this item. Maybe once, I guess? They call it Scrumptious, which I guess is pretty funny. I mean, it gives 3,000 health and 2,000 mana when consumed. It's a shield, and it's not permanent now. Okay. Bottle. No longer refills when carrier has a lingering fountain regeneration buff. This basically means that supports can no longer refill bottle. You have to go back to base. So Tinker's support is better than ever because you can give him your bottle. He can go back to base and refill it for you. So Tinker's support is now broken. Orb of Blight has been... Why would they do that? Blightstone is now Orb of Blight. I see. There's 3 of them. Interesting. All right. Lesser Corruption has been nerfed, so this item has been giga nerfed from an 8-second duration of armor reduction to 3. So quite the destruction of Orb of Blight. I'm not going to get used to that. Orb of Frost. Now a new basic equipment item, 250 gold. No bonuses on stats. On attack, slows the enemy by 13% of the target is ranged and by 5% of the target is melee. Reduces target's incoming healing by 13%. Okay, I mean, this item is fine. I would say it's like pretty solid. It's actually a huge slow against ranged heroes in particular, and a decent amount of healing reduction for only 250 gold. Actually, kind of a lot of healing reduction for only 250 gold. So against certain heroes, this is going to be a very natural pickup or casual pickup. Orb of Venom, 100 gold more expensive, and now has a 9-second cooldown. No longer slows movement speed. Instead, attack damage per second increased from 2 to 10. Attack duration for 3 seconds. So basically, Orb of Venom is 350 gold, and you can hit them every 9 seconds for 30 damage. So it's a poke item. It used to be kind of like this in the past, and now it's back to that, but it's pretty expensive. So, I mean, but that's a lot of damage to just hit them casually. I mean, there's a lot of supports that are going to be very happy to do that. But 350 gold is very pricey as a starting item, so it's a cool item. I'm not sure. I'm on the fence about this. It's a lot of damage. I mean, yeah, it might be good. It actually might be good, but it's a ranged hero item, right? It's definitely an item you're going to buy on a hero like, I don't know, just any high-range support. Sentry Wards, there's more of them, and they give more sight now. So, okay, there's more. You can spend more golds on sentries. Not that any of you guys actually buy Sentry Wards, let's be real. Added a visual indicator over the caster of the smoke. Oh, that's cool, so you can know who you need to walk next to get smoke. Windlace is cheaper, but gives less movement speed. Okay, I mean, it's a nerf to the item for sure. You'd rather 5 movement speed over 25 gold, but probably still pretty solid overall. Abyssal Blade now requires Basher, Songe, and a recipe. Total cost unchanged. Now provides 35 damage, 26 strength, slow resist, and health and lifesteal lamp. No longer provides health and HP regen. Remove damage blockability. That makes sense. It doesn't have Vanguard. I mean, I think this is a big buff, honestly, because a lot of heroes really want to buy Songe. The only problem is you don't get the status resist that Songe and Yasha gives, which is the main reason why you buy Songe for that item, because the combination of the items. But yeah, I would say this is an overall buff to Abyssal Blade. You're getting a generally better item in Songe. You get health and lifesteal lamp, which is really beneficial for a lot of heroes. For instance, something like PA, who will want to buy a lifesteal item or just any hero that has lifesteal. Now it makes a lot more sense to buy Abyssal Blade in combination. Replenish mana, okay, sure, if they change the name. Battle Fury now requires the second broadsword instead of Claymore. The recipe is more expensive, so the item... What, it probably gives less damage? Yeah, it gives less damage. It's cheaper by 200 gold. It gives 15 less damage, which is kind of a lot for only 200 gold. And it cleaves less. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's the same cleave against creeps, which is nice. And you get faster. I would say this probably makes the item about the same, I want to say. I mean, 15 damage, again, is kind of a lot. So, probably a pretty comparable item. I want to say slightly better, if I had to guess. No longer provides 75 AoE on radius. Blood Pact now applies a basic Dispel on cast. Oh, that's pretty nice. So the main reason why that would be good on an item like Bloodstone is one of the main counters to heroes that buy Bloodstone is Spirit Vessel, right? For instance, when people are playing Bristleback, people will, on heroes like Bounty Hunter or Clockwork, rush a Vessel to counter you. Now, you will have to be very intentional when going on a hero like Bristleback to cast the Vessel after. But that sucks because you don't want to hold Vessel against heroes. It deals current health. So Vessel is best used when heroes are full HP against heroes like Bristleback. You cast it on them immediately. Now you have to wait because Bloodstone has a basic Dispel. Obviously, for a hero like Bristleback, which this is the main change, it's mainly for Bristleback, let's be real, it kind of affects Leshrac if he's buffed, I guess we'll see. I mean, I'm saying it like the heroes are the same. I really don't know. But yeah, this mainly affects Vessel, but of course, if you just happen to be against a lot of dispellable stuff, like Searing Chains from Ember Spirit, Bloodstone is technically good now, which honestly is a huge deal. Bloodthorn, Soul Rend True Strike on the silenced target is now limited only to the item owner and their controlled units. I see, so your allies do not get True Strike if you Bloodthorn someone, it's only you. And the silence visual is now tinted red. Okay, sure. Total cost on Boots of Bearing is cheaper because of Windlace cost decrease. All right. Does Boots of Bearing have 2 Windlaces? Oh yeah, because of Drums and Tranquils. Endurance no longer uses charges. It has a longer cooldown, gives less attack speed and less movement speed. So yeah, I mean, I would still say Drums is a very good item. At the end of the day, it still has some of the best buildup in the game. It's just going to give attack speed in an AoE, which is still a very high number at 35. It doesn't have charges, so you can click it off cooldown. The only problem about clicking it off cooldown with a higher cooldown is that you might not have it for a fight. So you have to be a little bit more careful now, but probably a broken item, honestly. Still. Ethereal Blade is nerfed against universal heroes, okay. Yule's slightly cheaper because of Windlace, sure. I have Scotty, now is built with Orb of Frost, and okay, sure, so, I mean, sure, I guess it makes Scotty slightly better, but the item's probably about the same. Transmute now grants a Madstone bundle when used on a neutral creep, so I believe a Madstone bundle is the completed neutral item. No, it's definitely not. It's just, okay, no, it's definitely not. It's just the 2 gems you get and the 1 for an ally. So Midas, I think, oh yeah, Midas used to give you a full neutral item. I'm assuming this just means crystals. I don't actually know. Maybe it does just give you a full neutral item. I mean, it's actually an important distinction, but I can't tell. Heaven's Halberd requires Vanguard, Crown, Ring of Regen, and a recipe. I mean, that's pretty good buildup for certain heroes. It gives damage block, yeah, because it has Vanguard, of course. Gives Disarm, now can, okay, Disarm can now be dispelled, so that's an important thing to know. You used to not be able to dispel Halberd with dispel items. Duration on ranged heroes decrease, so okay. So basically Halberd is kind of a more specific item now because it builds from Vanguard. It has incredibly good buildup with Crown and Ring of Regen, which is pretty nice. Gleipnir, recipe change, now requires a point booster instead of Maelstrom. What in the world? But it's way cheaper as a very expensive recipe at 11. Okay, a somewhat expensive recipe. It is 1,200 gold cheaper. It provides AoE bonus and mana. Health bonus increased from 275 to 450, so it gives a lot of health. Less int. It doesn't do damage. It has a smaller radius. Oh, but it's the same because of the AoE bonus. And it costs less mana, remove chain lightning ability. So basically, Gleipnir is an Atos upgrade that makes it AoE, gives you AoE increase. I mean, it's not bad. It's control. I don't know what heroes would buy this, though. Who even buys casual Atos? I guess something like a Hoodwink would consider buying this, but Hoodwink liked the Maelstrom, so maybe not. Very weird item. I really don't think a lot of heroes are going to buy this, but it does give increase on spells, which is pretty useful. Mage Slayer, recipe change, now requires Gloves of Haste, Cloak, Orb of Venom, and Cornucopia. That's not a bad build-up, honestly. The Gloves of Haste is good, the Orb of Venom, that's kind of weird. I guess something like Ember could use it, I guess. Cornucopia is like a pretty solid item. I mean, it's not bad build-up. Used to require, yeah, okay. No longer gives int, now provides HP regen and damage, and gives less attack speed. Okay, so I would say Mage Slayer's probably nerfed overall. Mask of Madness, Berserk bonus movement speed decreased. Okay, sure. Mask is nerfed. It's kind of weird. Orb of Corrosion now requires Orb of Frost, Orb of Blight, and Band of Elven Skin. It's 1,000 gold, gives 8 agi, which is more than the item would be. On attack, slows the enemy by 16% if ranged, 6% if melee. Also reduces the target's incoming healing by 20% and their armor by 3. So now Orb of Corrosion is an armor reduction item. It's back to that. Armor reduction does not stack with its components. That makes sense. Or Deso or Stygian Desolator. Okay, sure. So basically, Orb of Corrosion... Wait, but it builds from Orb of Frost, but it doesn't... Oh no, it does reduce healing. I mean, this item does a lot, honestly. It's probably really good on certain heroes. It's a slow, it's healing reduction, and it's armor reduction now, which is pretty nice. So this is going to be pretty broken on heroes like Ember Spirit. Phylactery, Empower spell cooldown increased from 6 to 12. The movement speed slow was reduced, but the slow duration increased. Wow, Empower spell cooldown from 6 to 12. That's terrible. Recipe change. Now requires Tiara of Celemene instead of Chrysalis. So Conda is like a spellcaster item. Has a really expensive recipe, which is always bad. It's 800 gold more expensive. Gives 8 mana regen. Does not crit spell anymore. It now applies break. Okay, this item sucks. I mean, unless I'm somehow misunderstanding it. It seems really bad. Like, really, really bad. You can be like, oh, but it's a break. It's good against Bristleback. Yeah, for 6k gold, you're going to buy it. Your break is going to cost 6k gold. Why would you need 8? I mean, that is so much mana regen. Like, who buys this? It builds from... Who buys this item? Zeus? Not really. I mean, the only hero I can maybe come up with in my head is like Skywrath Mage, which I guess it's okay then if you need a break on Skywrath, which, okay, I mean, sure, but probably not. That seems terrible. Rest in peace, Tiny. And, I mean, I guess Zeus... Sort of, but it's just so expensive. How long is the break for? 3 seconds? If it's only a 3-second break, I mean, that's just not long enough. I don't know. This item's probably Garbo. Revenant's Brooch now has a Crystallis Voodoo Mask and a recipe. It's really cheap. Wow, this item was like 4,000 something. I don't know why they usually say, but they didn't here. 35 damage, 16% Spell Life Steal. That's not bad for 3,300, but Spell Life Steal, it's not a great stat. Passive. Phantom Crit grants each attack a 30% chance to deal bonus magic damage equal to 80% of the attack damage. I mean, that's pretty high. This is considered a critical strike for other sources of critical strike. This ability has no effects on building. I mean, this seems good. 30% chance to deal bonus magic damage? It's a little unclear because it's not that cheap for like, I mean, this isn't that high of a crit, but it's 30% chance. Spell Life Steal? Who's gonna buy this? I don't know. It's kind of a cheap item and it has like decent components. I just don't know who's gonna buy this. Like, I guess some sort of Bristleback? Because it's attack damage, it's not base damage. So it's like, it's gonna, yeah, I guess like some Bristleback might buy this, I suppose. It's a little weird. Sanjin Yasha, nerf status resist. Okay, it's still kind of a high number, so this item's probably still broken. Shadowblade is more expensive, but gives more damage. That's a nerf to Shadowblade. Kind of sad, I actually like this item. And a nerf to Silver Edge, I would say. It's more damage, but I don't think for 10 damage you want to pay that much. Total cost decreased. Okay, Windlace, Windlace, Windlace. Witchblade is now the same cost, but requires Orb of Venom, which is probably not bad. For certain heroes, like maybe it's nice to just buy this Orb of Venom in the lane, and then you can, yeah, I mean, actually this is just straight up a buff, right? Because you just get to, if you're like a Witchblade buyer like Puck, which is a great example of a hero that would like Orb of Venom, I mean, you're just going to hit them once, deal a bit of damage, and it's going to turn into a Witchblade, which is great. So this is a big buff to Witchblade, actually. I mean, it just makes it a better laning stage item, which is great, because it didn't have the best buildup in the past. The best item it had was Sage's Mask, which is okay, but it's not an insane laning stage item. It's just all right. All right, let's get into neutral items next. So I'm going to do an in-game demonstration of how it works very, very quickly. But before I do that, I just want to talk about how it works very simply, and like some of the key points you need to remember. So essentially how it works now is when you kill neutral creeps, you give out these shards, you get 2 and an ally gets 1. At tier 1 neutral items, which spawn at minute 5, you need 5 shards to make a neutral item. When you get a neutral item or have enough shards, you get to choose a neutral item and a buff for the neutral item. It combines, so basically you get a neutral item with an active or a passive, and you get stats to upgrade it, and that's how it works, right? So that's the main thing. The other things I would say you need to know is you need to craft a tier 1 neutral item before you can craft a tier 2 and so on. And on top of that, items scale up. So at minute 5, you need 5 of these shards to create an item. At minute 15, you need 15 and so on and so forth. Then at minute 70, it gets rid of the cap and you can keep recrafting your tier 5 neutral item, which is really, really funny. I guess there's going to be some cases where you can like make Book of the Dead, split push, and then make Mirror Shield for the team fight and stuff like that. So that'll be pretty interesting. But okay, let's get into the in-game demonstration. All right, just so you guys can see it, it's minute 5. I'll drop my Giant's Ring on the floor, and I need 5 of these shards. So you have to kill the entire camp to get shards. That's very important to note, right? You cannot just get lucky, kill 1 creep, and get a neutral item, right? I kill the camp, I get my 2 shards, and if I had an ally, but unfortunately I don't have friends, they would also get 1 shard. Then if I eventually kill enough camps, I will eventually get enough shards to get my neutral item. It will highlight, you click on it, and now you get to combine items with an enchantment, right? So, for instance, I can get Orb of Destruction, Armor Reduction, and Slow. I'll choose that, and I will combine it with whatever I need for the game. Maybe I need mana, 5 damage, health, attack speed. To me, if I had to say at first glance, I mean, they probably kind of like are trying to balance it based on cost, but things like health for support is going to be great. I think a lot of people are going to be taking mana regen. Things like 5 damage just doesn't really seem like enough to me. I mean, generally a 10 attack speed is probably better than 5 damage. I mean, again, they probably did the math, so, you know, you got to trust Valve here. But yeah, really awesome just because you get to really personalize, customize what you're going to be getting. Okay, let's get into the new neutral items. So we have Mana Drow, which is the active is bottoms up, restores 60 mana, 2% of the caster's max mana over 6 seconds. So taking damage from an enemy hero Roshan ends the effect, but not neutral creeps. Can be shared similarly to Bottle, with the effects still independent of caster's mana. So okay, this is basically a mana item, very simply. And the cooldown speed is increased by 30% while in water, so that's pretty cool. The cooldown is 40 seconds. And it's honestly a lot of mana. This item kind of reads pretty broken. It seems maybe like a bit too much mana, especially if you're in the river. Occult Bracelet is a tier 1 neutral item. Each time the wearer is attacked, you gain mana regen. Okay, that item's pretty similar. Orb of Destruction is now a tier 1 neutral item. It's 2 armor reduction, 10% movement speed reduction if they're melee, and 5% if they are ranged, right? So if you're a melee hero, this item is quite a bit better, and honestly, it is pretty strong overall. Then we have Pig Pole. You turn into a pig, give 15%. You get 15% movement speed. This item is probably pretty bad now. I mean, the main thing I would say is that, I don't know, certain actives that were really good because of the stats that they gave are probably a lot worse now. Like, I don't know, Pig Pole active, it's okay. It does make you really fast, but I don't know, like, Orb of Destruction with health just seems better than Pig Pole with health, on average, but I could be wrong. Poliwag Charm, active Ribbit, increases an ally's health regeneration by 8 for 10 seconds, so 80 health, while in water, the blessed unit receives 10% movement speed, but it's a really long cooldown, so 80 health, 10% movement speed in water is pretty good. It has really high cast range. I'm not so sure though. It seems, yeah, I guess if you need to move around the map, but it's a lot of movement speed, basically, to move around the outside of the map. This item seems really good. I actually tested it already. Ripper's Lash. So basically it's an active, embed thorns into all enemies in a 200 AoE, so basically it has 700 cast range, but it's an AoE. You latch on to targets in an area for the next 10 seconds. When they are attacked, they take additional physical damage. Hero attacks do plus 12 damage, non-hero attacks do plus 4. So it's kind of crazy because, like, for a hero like Brood, your spiders will just get plus 4 damage. And if you just have, like, really high attack speed, for instance, I would guess, like, something like Snapfire, or maybe it works with Pango. I mean, it says hero attack, so it probably only works on things like Snapfire. But it's just like a lot of damage, and it's only a 30-second cooldown, doesn't have mana cost. This might be pretty good, and it works on neutral creeps too. To be fair, it's like a 12 damage item, technically, but it works on like certain spells, and it works on units, so pretty cool. Spark of Courage provides a plus 10 damage when the hero is above 50%, 5 armor when they are below, okay? Trusty Shovel, Channel Dig for all the same items. Digging in a river, water rune, same. Okay, cooldown 60 seconds. Seems like it is the same. Really broken item, honestly. Brigand's Blade, back as a tier 2 neutral item. Passive, Dark Mercy. Wielder's attacks deal 3 more damage to enemies for each 5% HP they are missing. Yeah, I remember this item used to be pretty damn broken. I wonder if it is still the case on heroes like Pango, where it was really, really overpowered because it worked on Swash. If that is still the case, you're going to have to keep your eye out for this item on those heroes. Essence Ring, Life Essence, increases current and maximum health by 240 for 15 seconds. Okay, so it's like 240 health. It does cost a lot of mana. I remember this item used to be the same way, where it costed a lot of mana. Very low cooldown by 25. it probably heals you because it also increases your max health. Unless, I don't know if it goes back down, but basically only 10-second downtime. It's a lot of health at 240, so this is going to be a great tank item, especially if you pair it with a health enchantment. Gossamer's Cape, you dodge an attack every 6 seconds. I think it used to be 4, so this is actually nerfed, which makes sense because it gave no stats. So I guess what Valve had to do is say, okay, if it didn't give any stats, we need to nerf it because, well, it would be broken if it gave good stats and had the same active. Iron Talon, you chop creeps, seems the same. Searing Signet, new item. Passive Burn Through. Instances of 40 magical damage or more set enemies on fire for 5 seconds. 15 magic damage per second. So that is what? 85 damage? My math shit? Who knows? No, 75 damage. My math was shit. This effect doesn't stack. Doesn't affect buildings. Tick rate, 0.25. Total. Oh, it literally says it. That's pretty funny. Alright. No cooldown. No cooldown. No cooldown. Really? I don't know. That seems like... So if I blood grenade you, do you get set on fire as well? It could be really good on certain heroes. I mean, this is quite a lot of tick damage. Very casually on something like a Zeus. Pretty obnoxious. Tumbler's Toy is back. Propels you forward. Can't be used with 3 seconds of taking damage. No mana cost. Yeah, I mean, this item's pretty broken, honestly. It was... Anything mobility-based is just pretty broken. I think Tumbler's Toy will be a top-tier Tier 2 neutral item. And you should keep your eye out for it. I think it will probably be one of the best. 15-second cooldown is too low, in my opinion. So I would definitely look into this item. However, it used to not be able to be broken. So that is a big deal. Gelguard, Tier 3. Cyclonic Shield. You get a 400 all damage barrier that blocks 75% of incoming damage for 10 seconds. So you take 25%, but it lasts longer. While active, the barrier also provides 50% slow resist. Damn. So this item, if you happen to be playing against a lot of slows, is just straight up broken. Gunpowder Gauntlet. Passive Beat the Crowd. That's not very nice. Your next attack splashes to all enemies in a 250 radius for 50% of your attack damage. Original target isn't affected by the splash. It takes an additional 120 magic damage. That's a lot. Cooldown 6 seconds. Okay. I mean, it's pretty nice for farming. It doesn't seem... 120 magic damage, is that a lot? 6-second cooldown? What is Enchanted Quiver? But Enchanted Quiver is tier 4, and it's, I think, 254-second cooldown? And this is a splash? It's alright. I don't know. It's okay. I don't think this is... It's alright. I don't think this is broken. It's just fine. Nemesis Curse. Same as before, it seems. Yep. Ninja Gear. Smoke a seed on yourself for 15 seconds. No mana cost. Damn, I think it was like 25 or 30 or something. Now it's 15. It's probably still a decent item because smoke is just broken, but way worse now. Because the item gave good stats. Like, it gave movement speed and agi. Like, it gave movement speed. One of the best stats in the game. So I don't really think this item is bad, but I don't think it's too good. A big nerf. Serrated Shiv. This looks like Slark's attack or weapon. Gut'em. Attacks have a 20% chance to have True Strike and deal 10% of target's current health as bonus physical damage. Procs against Roshan always deal fixed damage. I mean, that's still a lot. Illusions may create the proc effect, but deal no additional damage. Oh, so they get True Strike. Okay. Cooldown 1 second. Okay, so it has a cooldown. That was going to be my question, because certain heroes with, like, nasty high attack speed would abuse the living heck out of this. But still, 10% of their health seems like a ridiculously high number for minute 25. It seems pretty broken to me. This has got to be crazy. I don't know. Tunnel Vision. Equipped hero has their daytime vision reduced, but still spell amp increased by 10. Oh, it was 8, so that got buffed. Status, this item is the same. Crippling Crossbow. Active Hobble, it's tier 4. Hits an enemy for 75 damage and slows their movement speed by 80% and health restoration by 40% for 4 seconds. Slow fades over the duration of the debuff for 4 seconds, while the health restoration penalty is constant. Cooldown is 12. So it's okay, so basically you get a big slow. It's really good health reduction. I mean, this item is just really good. Yeah, I mean, it's just solid. This item is just solid, especially if you need anti-heal. 4 seconds of anti-heal, pretty strong. Magnifying Monocle, tier 4. Keen Eye, increases cast range by 125, attack range by 100. Okay, that's pretty solid. Taking over 25 damage from a player-controlled source or Roshan disables this effect. Okay, so it's cast range and attack range. Oh, it works on melee. Okay, so that could be really good on melee heroes. The problem is, if you take damage, it disables the effect, so it can't be that good. So you're mainly just going to use it for, I don't know, why would it get disabled? I feel like kind of weird. Okay, next attack silences for 2 seconds, cooldown 12. So basically, Mindbreaker just gives silence now. That seems pretty bad. It's pretty short as well. I guess it's niche okay. Ogre Seal Totem, you flop, deal damage, slow, so the same as before. That seems like the same as before. This item gave strength, but seems still strong. Mobility is always good. Fiery Cloak. Active Retribution, mark an enemy unit for 6 seconds. 60% of all damage dealt to the caster is reflected to the marked unit as physical damage. Mark an enemy unit. 60% of all damage dealt to the caster. So basically, it's a blade mail you put on someone. So if you take damage, you get to choose who gets hit by it. But it's a 6 second duration, which is okay, but that's like blade mail duration. I think blade mail's pretty close to that. 4.5 or 5.5. Cast range is all right. I don't know. I mean, I guess it lets you... I mean, it's really good on certain heroes, right? It's just really good on heroes like the blade mail users, Legion and Axe, for instance. Just really, really good. You can just have 2 blade mails. So, I mean, this item will be broken on the heroes that blade mails is really good on. So, big buff to, yeah, the Legion and the Axes of the world. Book of the Dead, Greater Summoning, summon 2 Demonic Warriors. Okay, that's the same. Fallen Sky, probably about the same, but it's back. Magic Lamp, the same. Minotaur Horn is a tier 5, really. Basic Dispel, 50% magic resist and immunity to pure and reflected damage for 2 seconds. Any negative effect from enemy spells have no effect for 2 seconds. So it's, okay, so basically Minotaur Horn is a 2-second PKB, but it's tier 5, which is really late. Pirate Hat now has Plunder, steals 150 gold from enemies that die, okay? If the wearer of the hat is the killer, there is no range limit and an additional 150 gold is stolen. I mean, you can steal a lot of gold, but it's probably not that good. Passive Buried Treasured, gold lost on death is reduced by 100%. That's pretty funny. Spider Legs were really broken when they were tier 4. Basically, you can walk over things. I mean, this item is still, it's going to be really great even at tier 5 because, again, mobility is the name of the game. Stygian Desolator, 13 armor reduction for 7 seconds is pretty good. Pretty good. It would be solid. Probably, I mean, 13 is a really high number. I think it used to be lower, actually, when it was in the game. And finally, Unrelenting Eye. Passive, Relentless, 100% slow resist. The bonus is reduced by 20% for every enemy hero within 300 units. What? So if the enemy team is alive, it just doesn't work. I mean, that just seems... Oh, 300 units. Okay, it's a small radius, but still. I guess, hey, at the end of the day, if you're against a lot of slows, this item will be good, but it's tier 5. So I'm not so sure. All right, let's get into the enchantments. So basically what you need to understand about the enchantments is the majority of them work across tiers, except there's some like really crazy tier 5s at the end. But yeah, a lot of them work across tiers, and if they do work across tiers, they get better over time. Alert is attack speed and bonus night vision. Then it's health regen, mana regen, magic resist. This item, wow, 10% mana, I guess it's not that crazy. Movement speed and mana, damage and armor, no armor at level 1. So this one, I mean, you get a lot of armor at tier 2. It's pretty nice. Vast attack range, melee and ranged. So, I mean, yeah, if you want range, I guess it's good on some heroes. Yeah, I mean, at tier 2, it's probably pretty good. Greedy, GPM, and mana, but minus attack damage. So you can get it's 60 attack damage reduction, but you can get 100 GPM, which is pretty good. I mean, there's a lot of GPM. Keen Eye, cast range. So that's going to be at tier 2. Very, very popular. You're going to lose max mana, but you're going to get huge cast range and mana regen. So very popular for certain supports. Lifesteal, spell lifesteal, debuff amplification, spell amplification. I mean, a lot of them just make sense. This one's pretty interesting, but it's tier 4. So now we're going to get into the tier 4s and 5s, right? A lot of these that we just talked about are 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a couple 2s and 3s. Then as you get into the 4s and 5s, you have base attack damage, status resist, right? I mean, status resist is going to be pretty crazy. It's only 10% though at a pretty late point in the game, at minute 35. So it's not that, I mean, that seems pretty reasonable, honestly. Slow resist and minus base attack time. I wonder how good that's going to be at tier 4. Minus base attack time. Yeah, I don't know. But you lose intelligence. So it must be a pretty high number for them to say, okay, you're going to lose intelligence. And slow resist is also buffed. Not by a lot, but it's buffed. At tier 5, we got some pretty crazy ones. I always find it a bit kind of odd that Valve seems to put the most effort into tier 5 when they come into the game the least by far. But okay. Boundless, attack range, and huge cast range. So that's just Seer Stone, essentially. But it's kind of crazy that sort of Seer Stone can be tied to, like, Spider Legs or something like that. 40 primary stat, cooldown reduction, but you get mana cost and mana loss increase. But you can get casual CDR, I mean, it's CDR. 600 experience per minute? I mean, why would you want that at tier 5? I guess if you need to get to level 25 on certain subs, it could be good. Okay, I could see that. Audacious, 100 attack speed, 80 magic attack damage. Wow. But 10% incoming damage. I mean, that makes you hit really hard. This one is crazy, crazy, crazy. Probably pretty good. I don't know. These are crazy numbers. Or 115 movement speed. I mean, that might be the best one. Just flat movement speed? I mean, you take that any day of the week. You are fast. Does not stack with movement speed bonuses from boots. Ah, I see. So basically, it lets you swap out your boots, which is pretty nice. All right, let's get into the hero changes. So, one thing quick. For Universal Heroes, they changed them a lot. Basically, if you didn't watch the first video, they made it where Universal Heroes get 0.45 damage instead of 0.7 for stats. This means that you get a lot less damage because heroes have a lot of base stats. On top of that, items are worse. So basically what they had to do is give Universal Heroes a ton of damage. Abaddon got 26 damage. Basically, you can look and say, oh, it went from 40 to 50, 50 to 60. I'm not going to read this for every single Universal Hero. Otherwise, this will take 40 years, and honestly, it's boring as heck. Yes, it will be a big deal. I'm going to read Abaddon's so you get the gist, and then we will not read it for the rest of them. Okay, so 26 damage. He lost some base int, which is separate. Damage at level 1 is increased by 10 at the end of the day. Strength gain is better. Agi gain is better. Int gain is better. Damage gain per level decreased, though, by a full 1. So he has a lot more at the start, seemingly, but when you buy stat items like Branch, you get a lot less than you used to. Like, you get 60% of the previous. Damage at level 30 decreased by 25, which, I mean, doesn't seem that bad. Honestly, for something like Abaddon, maybe this is just a buff. I mean, 10 damage at level 1, to me, seems like a lot, right? I mean, it's not like you would get 10 damage from buying stats on this hero. You get a lot, but you still do get some. I mean, you still get more than half, so yeah, I mean, maybe this is even a buff for a hero like Abaddon. It's a little hard for me to understand fully. I'm sure it is for all of you guys, but basically, the gist is that Valve made buying stats worse on Universal Heroes. You can't just buy Harpoon, Mantle, Lincolns, and hit for 480 damage. Alright, quickening. This facet is probably broken. Cooldown reduction per hero death from 4 to 6. The other facet was way more popular, but now this one is 2 seconds better. And by the way, guys, this works on items. If you buy Hand of Midas on Abaddon and a hero dies next to you, allied or enemy, you get 6 seconds of reduction on all of your items. Probably broken, frankly. 10 talent change. You cannot get Curse of the Avernus slow. You can now get healing reduction, which is specifically good in some games. This is his innate, where if you're below 40% health and he hits you, you heal less. So this is good on core Abaddon only at very specific matchups. Otherwise, the other talent, the HP regen and shield, is just better. But yeah, quickening Abaddon, to me, even on, especially on core actually, but on support as well, is broken with things like Mana Boot. Literally, Mana Boots are just way lower cooldown if you're just fighting. Really crazy. Anything. Literally anything. Even Magic Wand. Okay. Alchemist. Aghanim Scepter granting move from Chem Rage to Grievel's Greed. Okay. Gains 75 GPM for each Aghanim Scepter he has granted to allies. Oh, it's a facet. I was like, what? They just gave him that? Aghanim Scepter granting range is now global. That's nice. Granting is now announced to all allies and spectators, but not enemies. The radius on Acid Spray is way smaller, so it's harder to bring camps together. Now applies 1 corrosive weaponry stack with each tick of damage. I mean, that's actually quite good. Kind of a lot. It's like a slow. Now applies 1 corrosive weaponry stack per second of brew time. Oh, stacks are also applied when enemy take damage from spells. Okay, I already read that. Stacks per attack increased from 1 to 2. Ah, I see. So the hits do more. So the max stacks are much higher level 1. But I see, it's only 3%. So it's a weaker ability. Basically, it's weaker per tick, but there's more ways to get ticks. Chem Rage, less movement speed. Alk is probably still very good. I will say, though, this Acid Spray is kind of rough, but I would still say Alk is going to be a top tier hero. I can't imagine this facet's going to be good. It just takes too long to come online. It's too cheesy. You could be like, oh, but it's good on support Alk to get bonus GPM. Yeah, but 75 is just, Maybe it's okay. Unlike support Alk. Ancient Apparition, Stun Duration on his Q has been changed. Break distance is no longer affected by AoE bonuses. His E is better early on, but less later. Death Rhyme stacks increase from 1 to 2. That's pretty good, actually. But the duration was reduced, so it's like 50% better. It's kind of a lot, actually. I guess Chilling Touch is way better at level 1 now. Kind of crazy. Release sub ability can now be cast while silenced. Oh, wow. Animage. Mage Bane's Mirror has been reworked. Now Counterspell burns mana based on what was casted on you and deals damage to the burned mana up to 400. Spell Reflection no longer exclusive to this facet. Oh, now it reflects by default. That's pretty nice. Burns the count. Okay, yeah. So basically, now you can burn the enemy's mana by reflecting their shit if you take this facet. Counterspell now reflects by default, but you get slightly less magic resist. So AM, big buff. I mean, it's really great to reflect spells. I mean, it makes a big difference in a lot of matchups. So this is a big buff to the hero, because now you can take Mana Thirst and have the reflect, which is pretty huge. So AM, huge buff to this hero for sure. Arc Warden, universal now. I'm not going to read this shit. He has new facets. Tempest Double is infused with the bonuses of power runes for 10 seconds when created. Level 1 Invis, Level 2 Invis Arcane, Level 3 Invis Arcane Haste. I mean, Invis isn't that good. I mean, it's only 10 seconds. Why would you even... It seems terrible. Arc Warden gains... I mean, Arcane Rune is good at level 2. That's like the selling point. And I guess that works with like Midas. That's probably the idea. It's like, oh, okay. I mean, that's definitely the idea. You get like an Arcane Rune on items, which is... Maybe it's pretty good. Arcane Rune's pretty broken. Arc Warden gains all attributes permanently upon activating any power rune. Once created, the field pulls all runes towards it with increasing speed. Any rune that's within magnetic field or pulled into it is automatically activated. Okay, I don't even know what is. Are bounties considered power runes? Are water runes considered power runes? I don't think so. All right, I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. This is so many Arc Warden changes, and honestly, not a lot of people play this hero. The main thing I'd say is that the cooldown of Tempest Double is back what it used to be, which is like low cooldown, but low duration. Seems like a nerf to me because it was much higher uptime. Now spawns with Arc Warden's current health and mana. It no longer has penalties when more than 2,000 range away from Arc Warden, so you can split push again. No longer restarts the ability cooldown if Tempest Double is killed by enemies. Loses its sense of self and fractures over time, becoming slower and less accurate. So basically, the longer it exists, the worse it gets. I mean, I don't know. This shit is just weird. I don't play this hero often. If you're an Arc Warden spammer, feel free to leave a comment. There's not a lot of you, let me tell you. Axe, base damage increased by 1. Damage level 1 increased by, okay. Why would they write it twice? That is so weird. Battle Hunger deals more damage now. It's actually pretty nice. Spin deals more at level 1, but worse at max. The Axe is slightly nerfed. And the ult cooldown, if you're bad at the game, you get punished less. Okay, Bane, universal hero changes. The attack speed on Dreamstalker has been majorly buffed at the later levels. You get up to 100 attack speed. Oh, this is definitely the bigger one. So Sleepwalk is a facet I think is highly underrated. You make them move quite quickly. Basically, when you nightmare people, you can make them walk in a certain direction. It's quite strong. Brainsap cast range of 10 does not seem very good. Okay. Arsonist, taking napalm building damage increased by 10%. It's kind of a lot. Flame Break, ooh, losing a lot of movement speed in the early levels. So basically, you need to take the second point of this ability for it to pay off. Beastmaster, dive damage decreased on the bird. Aghanim Shard no longer decreases the cooldown. Aghanim Shard now increases summon duration by 5 seconds. So, and you can get 5-second Call the Wild cooldown. Boar and Hawk, so you can get more. That's pretty good. You don't get the magic resist, but more Hawks, more Boars, pretty nice. Removed Blood Mist ability. Isn't that his Ags? While active, now also doubles the healing from Sanguinary. Active bonus movement speed increases. Bonus movement speed while on cooldown increases from 0 to 50. Oh, I see. Okay. So basically, this facet makes it where you can like get more movement speed by activating your E. It also doubles the healing from your innate, which is really good in team fights. And previously, it would make it where you couldn't get any bonus movement speed when it's on cooldown. Now you get half. I don't know, this is probably pretty good now. The only problem is the other facet is like really, really good. So yeah, I don't know. They're probably both solid now. This used to be really terrible. Now it's good. Now upgraded with Aghanim Shard. Turns all of Bloodseeker's overheal from his own abilities into an all damage barrier. Okay, so now that's just part of his shard. Now upgraded with Aghanim Scepter as well. Bloodseeker gains 30% lifesteal from all pure damage dealt. Now Blood Rage is upgraded by Ags instead of Shard. Attacks under the effect of Blood Rage deal 3% of their max health as pure damage. I mean, that is a lot, but it's not Blood Mist, but 3% of their max health is a lot. With how fast you hit, it's not bad. I'm not gonna lie. It's not Blood Mist, but let me tell you, that's a lot of damage. And you have to keep in mind, you get lifesteal from this pure damage. So yeah, I don't know, it's probably pretty good, the Ags, considering you get 2 things from it. Oh, Blood Rage's pure as well now. Oh, but that means it doesn't get amped by Blood Rage anymore. So big nerf to Bloodseeker there because you could one-shot waves with the 15 talent. This is wrong. That's pretty funny. It's the 15 talent. Oh no, it's Spell Amp. Spell Amp works on pure damage, right? It's not Magic Amp. It's just Spell Amplification. So it definitely still works. So maybe you do one-shot waves. No, probably not because creeps don't have magic resist, right? Yeah. I guess maybe you'll do more damage to the Flag Bearer, but... Blood Rage max out. Okay, sure. Oh, you lost the spell Lifesteal talent. Oof. All right. I don't know. Bloodseeker's probably still pretty good, to be honest. It's probably still a top carry. The Axe is probably still good. Okay, they buffed Cut Purse, which actually had a good win rate. So maybe it's like broken now. Damage amp is better early on, worse later, and the bonus movement speed is just worse straight up. I mean, this hero is definitely still broken. What in the world? Why didn't they nerf Bounty? Why did they like kind of buff him if this shit is decent? I mean, I'm sure. Why didn't they nerf the Facet? What's going on? Why is Bounty Hunter the same hero? Why didn't they nerf this hero? Sure. Cinder Brute, roll out the barrel, goes faster, deals more damage. You get more damage when you respawn on this hero or come out of your ult or something like that. And who cares? You get less movement speed and you're okay. Whatever. Stupid changes. Removed Berserk Facet. No one took it. Bristleback now shares this vision with his team, but still does not receive his team's vision. That's nice. At least you can see in front of Bristleback now. It's pretty funny. You can see who he's killing if he's far away from you. Quill sprays that were released by the ability now deal damage that is classified as reflection damage. What does that mean? I actually don't remember. Aghanim Scepter mana cost nerfed. Movement speed nerfed on the Warpath. Kind of a lot at max level, and they nerfed Hairball, but this hero is still probably good. Brood, now an Agi hero, sure. They buffed Necrotic Webs. Wow. 70% regen reduction at max. Yeesh, what in the world? 70%? I mean, this just counters certain heroes that just buy HP regen. I mean, 70. I mean, it's worse at level 1, but like, whatever. I don't know. This seems pretty crazy, let me tell you. Okay, big buff to Double Edge. Damage taken is bonus damage by 10%. This one is probably really good now. Reflection damage, yeah, I would look out for this Double Edge on Centaur. Chaos Knight got 0.4 Agi, and that's a lot. Fundamental Foraging, when Chaos Knight crafts a neutral item, 2 of his artifact choices will be for their current tier, and 2 of his choices will be for the next tier. Possible. He does not get the if it's tier 5. He does not get the option to keep his current artifact between tiers. So basically, you get 2 better neutral items? You just get quicker, better neutral items? That could be broken. Chaos Bolt splits in half, stunning one additional hero and damaging another. Prioritizes heroes, bounce range is 60%. Okay, I mean, it's alright. It's not great. Cast range on Chaos Bolt, that's a big deal. Now follows global lifesteal rules. As a result, creep penalty improved. Wow, so he heals way more. No longer deals bonus damage to creeps. Oh. But you actually crit more. I don't know. CK might be to look out for. This facet could be really, really good. Only problem is this Phantasmagoria facet was really good. Chen is now int. Marsh Mage Convert? Okay. Convert is an amphibian creep. Summon unit depends on the level of Holy Persuasion. Okay. Sure. Maybe it's good. Maybe it's not. I'll have to look into the creep. Divine Favor no longer upgraded with Aghanim Scepter. I didn't even know it was. Aghanim Scepter Martyrdom cooldown decreased. Cast range decreased from global to 1200. Can no longer be cast on enemies to damage them. Healing changed from current level of Hand of God to 30% of Martyr's current health. I mean, maybe that's good for like very high HP creeps. And you can sack creeps like crazy. But it was independent per creep, so I'm pretty sure. No, it wasn't. Level 10 talent, 150 convert attack speed? What? 150? Damn! Hand of God fully heals Chen and his creeps. Healing over time is still applied. I mean, sure, it's probably pretty bad. This seems crazy. Convert attack speed? If that works on like the troll skeletons, all right, I'm testing that out, guys. So the real question I have for Chen, I'm probably giving away all my good strats right off the bat, but my question is, so if I have the level 10 convert attack speed, because I don't think the convert is only this. It's not all the creeps you take, otherwise that'd be completely overtuned, but still, they usually hit that fast? I actually don't know. Okay, so it appears it does not work on the skeletons, which would have been really crazy. I will move on from Chen, considering he is the least played hero in the game. Let's get back to the next changes. Okay, Clinks. Strafe no longer increases attack range by 100. Mischance debuff duration rescaled to Chew, and is no longer dependent on Strafe's remaining duration. Death Pact now can be cast while rooted or leashed, but without teleporting Clinks to the target location. That makes sense. So you can heal, but you can't move. And it can be all cast, which disables teleportation. That's really good, actually. Tar Bomb can now be put on auto cast, so Clinks will throw a Tar Bomb when attacking if the ability is available. That's actually nice. It's probably what you should do. Fix Clinks not gaining a Death Pact charge if he has 2 available charges until he casts it at least once. Bonus movement speed decreased from... I don't know, this is really nice that you can disable the teleport. In like some matchups, you just wouldn't want to eat a creep because you would kill yourself. And you can get Strafe Duration to level 10, but it's over Tar Bomb bonus damage. That's probably kind of rough. They've changed this Phasma like 40 times. No longer requires to hook an allied target. Now requires at least one other allied hero to be in a radius of the hookshot target. Okay, so basically you can give your ally a ton of armor and reduce the cooldown of hookshot if an ally is close to them, which, I mean, it's pretty good. Better Assault no longer deals bonus damage to creeps. Oof, that's pretty rough. And they nerfed his good 10 talent. All right, big clock nerfs. Pretty rough. Removed his facets. Oh, I actually like Cold Comfort. It also sounds like Comfort. Arcane Overflow. Arcane Order can now be activated to temporarily provide Crystal Maiden with Spell Amp, increasing mana costs. While active, anytime Crystal Maiden uses her other abilities, allied heroes will receive a percentage of the mana spent. Sure. No mana cost, cooldown 30 seconds, long duration 35%. Spell Amp is really high. The ability duration is paused during Freezing Field. Can't be cast during the ultimate with Aghanim Scepter, but still has full effect. Okay. Increases radius of Crystal Nova by 100 and grants allied heroes in the affected area a physical barrier for 4 seconds. You receive double the barrier. That's not bad. You get 80. You get an 80 barrier for a big Nova, and you have to keep in mind, they didn't get rid of the Nova AoE talent at 15. Cooldown. So, I don't know, that's pretty good. They nerfed the ability a little bit, I guess because of this. I mean, both of these facets seem pretty strong. Now levels up with Freezing Field, Mana Regen, Amplification, Scales. So it's worse at level 1. That kind of sucks. I actually really liked abusing this. Yeah, I don't know, but this is pretty strong. Glacial Guard might be the way to go with the 15 talent. You can give a lot of barriers. I'm not so sure, though. It might not be a high enough number. This one's pretty interesting, though. I'll have to try them out both. Quick Wit. Attack speed per intelligence increased. Because he's an int hero now. But that's probably still much better, right? Isn't this just way better? New innate ability. Passive. Improves with Darkseer's level. When Darkseer levels up, he restores a percentage of his max health and mana. It's 10% plus 2% per hero level. Disabled by Braid. Why would that be disabled by Braid? That seems like such a weird one. Is now an intelligent... Oh, okay. I'm not going to read that. Shattering Crown. While ticking, the effect accumulates 35%. This is Dark Willow's facet. The effect accumulates 35% of any damage dealt to the target by Willow, and 15% of the attack damage dealt by allied heroes. When the counter ends, the accumulated damage is dealt to each enemy hero in the stun radius as magic damage. Maybe that's just... I mean, that seems like a lot of damage, Amp. Aghanim Shard allows the ability to deal accumulated damage when dispelled. That's nice. All right, I mean, sure. Aghanim Shard no longer reduces stun delay by 1, now decreases the cooldown. I mean, this seems pretty strong, honestly. It's just like a lot of damage amp, especially considering it works with allies. Could be good. Removed Gleaming Hammer. Starbreaker. After the final smash, all allies within 700 radius gain bonus attack speed per each Starbreaker swipe or smash that hits an enemy hero. And you gain way more than that. I mean, that seems really high, right? Per attack, you can gain a 45 attack speed. Dawnbreaker and her allied heroes gain bonus movement speed when walking on Hammer's fire trail and for 1 second after leaving it. I mean, that is also just really good. Okay, so she has 2 very good facets. They nerfed the shard a bit. Solar Guardian pulsing aura now lingers for 3 seconds after landing and follows Dawnbreaker around. Oh, this is the axe. Also increases... Oh, it's not the evasion anymore. Increases Solar Guardian heal per pulse by 10, 15, 20, reducing channel air time. So basically now, instead of staying in the air for a long time, you come down and you can fight. Oh, you don't give evasion though now. So basically, instead of giving 60% evasion, which was kind of the main reason you would buy it, it now allows you to fight during the buffs. But, I don't know. The evasion was such a big deal. It's probably not good enough. 12 damage at 10 is quite nice. Now doubles the stacks applied to allies. I mean, that seems pretty good. Ah, I see. So that's just like a buff. Cooldown on Poison Touch is better in the early levels. No longer upgraded with Shard. What is that? Cooldown on Grave is better in the early levels. Cooldown on Shadow Wave is 2 seconds better at all levels. Wow, that is way better. I see. Okay. Oh, Dazzle has a new ult. Armor change per stack is worse early on, better later on. But it gets doubled for allies or enemies depending on your facet. New ultimate. Dazzle's soul departs his body, becoming an untargetable, invulnerable, and tree-walking spirit that can still attack, cast items, and cast abilities and use items. His mortal body can be attacked, and there's a visible tether between it and Dazzle's soul. While in this form, all of his basic abilities are improved. Poison Touch hexes enemies. Grave heals upon expiration, and Shadow Wave has reduced cooldown. If the body is killed, Dazzle's soul perishes. When Dazzle's spirit moves further than 1,600 units away, it is tugged back towards the body with the intensity of this pull increasing the further the soul travels. When the effect ends, it returns. It's a 70, 60, 50 second cooldown, 50 second duration, minimum duration 5 seconds, cast range 600. Okay, it's a pretty long hex, and you get a lot of healing reduction on Shadow Wave. What is your axe? Is it the same? Can be upgraded with Aghanim Shard, allows to cast Nada production while being disabled, and provides 20% outgoing heal amplification for the duration. Okay, I mean, Ag's Dazzle is probably really good, and this is just a straight up big buff to Shadow Wave. It's just a much, much, much better ability. Poison Touch is also just a much better ability in the early levels, so yeah, maybe Dazzle Core is kind of back. Also, he gets 4-second Shallow Grave cooldown, which is quite nice at level 20. So, but he doesn't get the old cooldown reduction with abilities, which was of course a big deal for this hero being able to spam the axe. I don't know. Have to try this one out. It's very weird, hard to read. Spirit Collector, hero spirit damage increased. This one has literally been buffed 4 or 5 times. Surely it's good. If a hero dies during exorcism, their spirit is now added to both the current exorcism and a charge for the next one. Dude, this facet literally has been buffed like 4 or 5 times. It has to be good. Surely, I mean, it's just been buffed so many times. This is just another buff, and a significant one too. Movement speed per level decreased, but spell cooldown reduction per level increased. Sure. Thunderstorm now procs its effects on units within the kinetic field, even if the initial target is outside of it. Oh, that's cool. Base charge restore time has been decreased, so kinetic fence is way better. Way better. Damn. Okay, kinetic fence is, I don't know, I thought it was good already, and now it's just way better. So yeah, I would look into the, I'm gonna have to try this. This seems pretty insane, this kinetic fence. It's just gonna be obnoxious. Thunderstrike radius is bigger now as well, and they buff some of his talents to kinetic field cooldown. Doom, they buff gluttony, no longer decreases the damage per second. Wow, impending doom might be good now. If it doesn't decrease the damage per second, you might have to look into this. Base chargers, okay, so both of his other facets, which were already okay, this one was kind of terrible, but this one was fine, and now it's just much better, so maybe it's actually just good. Impending doom is probably just good now. Level pain is 10% better, which is when you are a higher level than people, you deal more damage. It's much better. Infernal Blade is worse at level 1, better at max, probably fine. Doom has worse cast range, but deals less damage. Okay, so Doom is way worse. And they got rid of his 10 talent, which was the Scorched Earth damage, which isn't that big of a deal, because sometimes you would just skip it for your E, which is what you should do now, because the E scales better. So, I don't know. I mean, Doom is probably still just a very good hero. You could try his other facets. 10 talent is just way better now. I don't know. Doom is probably just still incredible. Fire Dragon, while in dragon form, Dragon Tail applies to enemies in a radius. Attacks deal bonus magic damage to enemies, increases all AoE effects. So you don't get a cleave now. Corrosive Dragon now makes all of Dragonite's abilities deal physical damage. Sure, so armor reduction is better. Probably not that good though, can't imagine. So you don't get cleave anymore? Like, if you don't get cleave, it's just bad. While in dragon form, attacks now apply a percentage of damage to targets in the attack splash AoE. Now improves the effects of Worm's Wrath by a percentage regardless of the chosen facet. Smaller AoE, bonus movement speed decreased. So basically, you can take any of the facets now and have cleave. So you can play this hero with the other facets, because the other ones were pretty unusable, and they nerfed the shard a bit. Yeah, I mean, maybe like Corrosive Dragon is just better now, but the problem is that means you only have cleave when you're in your ult, which kind of sucks a bit. So yeah, I don't know. Vantage point, 10% more damage from high grounds. I mean, if you're on the high ground with Drought, you're gonna cook with that facet. Now levels with marksmanship, self-agility percentage, rescale. Wow, they got rid of her 10 talent, the Frost Arrows damage. That kind of... Gust costs no mana? That is so bad. Damn, they gutted her 10 talents. Earth Spirit, ready to roll. Bonus movement speed is also granted to Earth Spirit when rolling over an allied hero. I don't know if it's... I really actually am not sure if that's good. I haven't seen this facet in forever. No longer deals bonus damage to creeps. Yeesh. The Silence deals more damage. He gets rolling boulder distance again at 10. I mean, this is nice. I think they're trying to make him a support again, because now he just doesn't have wave clear. Yeah, I mean, they're trying to make him a support again, but I'm not so sure. Because, I mean, even on support, you wanted the wave clear. Damage, creep, death decreased at all levels by a lot, so Slugger is way worse. Fissure deals more damage, and costs less mana. Enchant Totem costs more mana at max. So Earthshaker pretty significantly nerfed. You nerf Earthshaker, but not Bounty Hunter. That's, yeah, I mean, that's okay. Astral Spirit bonus speed heroes decreased, sure. A little bit worse. He lost his cleave at 20. Oh, that's kind of sad. But you get Echo Stomp wake damage 350 at 20. I mean, this talent is very, very good in my opinion. So worth taking, but this hero is a way worse core. Rest in peace, Awfully and Elder Titan spammers. You guys are going to be feeling the pain. Okay, Searing Chains back down to only 2 units. They buffed Flame Guard damage per second by 5. And the amount of barrier by a little bit. Scales up. Oh, and they buffed 5. And they buffed the cast point of Fire Remnant. But activating is unchanged. So, alright, so they made the hero a little bit more smooth. Deal a tad bit more damage, but less chaining targets. Enchantress, attack range bonus increased. Oh, they buffed Spellbound. This is actually already gaining traction, and now it's just better. They buffed the Rabble Rouser, which is bonus damage per Enchantress hero level increased. If you don't know what this is, basically it made it where neutral creeps per Enchantress level deal more damage. Now it's better. It was already obnoxious. No longer deals 2 times damage to creeps. Still does 2 times damage to illusions. I didn't even know it did 2 times damage to creeps. What in the world? How did I not know that? I mean, this facet was already good. Now it's like really good. And this was already good. And now it's also really, really good. So Ench is just better. Enigma. Okay. Universal changes. They sort of buffed Event Horizon. It's 5% better at max, which is kind of a lot. It's slightly worse at level 1, but whatever. Way better at max. Like way, way, way better. Void got 2 base agi. That's pretty good. Mana cost decreased on Chrono. No longer suspends the duration of time dilation. No longer freezes enemy ability and item cooldowns. Okay, so sure. Isn't that just nerfs? Mana cost on Time Zone is better. Cooldown increased by quite a lot. Cast range nerfed. Now also suspends time dilation. Okay, so it's better with time dilation than Chrono is. Now also freezes enemy ability and item cooldowns. Okay, so better. Now also accelerates ability and item cooldowns for allies. Cooldowns accelerate 4 times faster. What? The radius is much smaller. It's a much smaller, way lower duration. No longer manipulates attack speed at all. Movement speed manipulation, rescale, cast speed. So basically, I mean, how I'm reading this is that they're trying to make you a support. This is like some support shit. Weird. Maybe you can play support Void? That's a weird one. Time Walk, better. Recasting time dilation on an enemy will now add a separate stacking debuff instead of refreshing the duration. Oh, okay. So basically, they're making... If you take stats over time dilation, especially now with Time Zone, you are insane. Basically, the idea is you should max Q and then max W with Time Zone. So give that a shot, guys. It's probably good. Stroke of Fate now displays a preview of the projectile trajectory. That's nice. Aggressive Shard no longer applies a strong dispel when it expires. Now applies a basic dispel when it is cast. It deals more damage and heals more. It's okay. It's probably not so good. Like, all right. Base agility on Gyro is worse, but he got a bit of agi gain. Flat cannon mana cost increased. Okay. Hoodwink got a bit of agi, 1 agi. Remove Treebond's trick shot facet. Now Go Nuts is worse at level 1, better at max 300 cast range at max. Kind of crazy. Sharpshooter has 50% reduced cooldown, turn rate is improved by 33%, max damage, max debuff duration, and max windup time are reduced. Oh, but the max damage is reduced. But it's 50% CDR. What the hell? But basically, you shoot it way faster, you turn way faster, as way lower cooldown, but it does 25% less damage. I don't know, it's probably interesting to try. The problem is, Treebound's trick shot was really good just to let this hero have a better laning stage. I don't know, hip shot is kind of interesting though. It's cool. So is Go Nuts, but the problem is, Treebound's trick shot was just like too good at enabling this hero's laning stage. They changed facet a bit. Acorn shot it does a bit more damage now, not a lot. All sources of evasion are doubled during Scurry. Sharpshooter, Aghanim Scepter no longer decreases max windup time, increases, okay. Don't buy Ags, I think. Huskar removed Bloodbath and Nothel transfusion facets. Berserker's Blood can be activated consuming 30% of the current health. Instantly applies a basic dispel on Huskar, then after a 3-second delay, restores the consumed health and additionally heals him for 5% of his max health for each dispelled debuff, and the cooldown scales down. So basically, you take your current health, but you can dispel yourself. Which, again, it's matchup specific, and it's going to be good. They buffed the cast point of Inner Fire. This ability came out really slow. Now it's a bit better. And they buffed the 15 talent by kind of a lot. All right, I mean, this facet seems pretty good. I actually don't really know much about his other facets, to be fair, though. Oh, gosh. This is so much. Oh, Lord. What is this? Scholar of... This is insane. These are all different facets. When Invoker reaches level 6, he gains a bonus level of Quas without spending a point, increases its max level up to 8. So it makes Cold Snap better. Can be upgraded with Aghanim Scepter. When cast, the effect is also applied to all ally heroes and forest spirits. What? Can be upgraded with Aghanim Shard. Enemies heroes that stay in it for longer than 3 seconds freeze, becoming rooted for 1.5 seconds, taking 300 magic damage. That's kind of a lot. Also making it bigger and longer. Wait, are these just his fastest now? He just doesn't have the other ones? Oh my lord, this hero is so different. It was like a right clicker, but then they kind of like removed right clicking universal heroes. When you reach level 6, you get a bonus point of Quas, increases max level to 10. Grants bonus attack range on Alacrity. Can be upgraded by Aghanim Scepter. Tornado creates smaller twisters along its path. Seems kind of bad. EMP can be upgraded. Increases burn damage. Okay, and pulls, that's what it was before. That doesn't seem so good. The ice one seems maybe good, because Ghostwalk like gives regen, unless they got rid of that. Seems like they did not. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know, the freeze one might be good. This ice wall seems pretty broken. Yeah, I mean, the ice wall might be broken. I don't know. There's some potential there. You just have to buy the shard really early. Agent of Galaron. When you reach level 6, okay, you get more points in Exhort. Increases meteor radius by 30 and travel distance by 200. It's okay. Aghanim Scepter. Cataclysm exclusively with this facet. Cooldown decreased by a lot. Upgraded by Aghanim Shard. Sunstrike to summon the current level of Forge Spirit at the location when damaging. I mean, that's just stupid. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of this stuff. I mean, the Quas might be cool, but in general, it just seems kind of bad. Now you get HP regen. Leveling Quas up now provides 1 strength by default. All right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Do you get the lifesteal still? Okay, I think I'm not going to read through most of these. Okay. So if you can get these like massive Sunstrikes, I don't know. Maybe it's interesting and I'm just like not really understanding it. The Quas one seems the highest potential to me, but I'm not exactly sure. Io, upon casting Tether, Io now has a buff that shows Tether remaining cooldown. Tether's a cooldown? This buff is only visible to Io and Io's allies. Enemy move attack speed slow increased by a lot. Wow, up to 60% attack speed and movement speed slow. No longer deals damage. Now upgraded by Aghanim Shard, deals 120 damage per second to enemies touching it. 50% of the damage dealt heals Io. This is considered pseudo lifesteal. What does that mean? Amplified by spell lifesteal and healing amplification, but does not have a creep penalty. Damn, so you can heal like... Wait, what? So if you just heal from... Can you just full heal from creep waves? I mean, I don't know, this seems broken. Isn't Core Io with Shard just like overpowered or something? You might, I don't know. Someone has to try this. 120 DPS and you heal for 50% and it works fully on creeps? Seems kind of broken. Don't you farm like crazy as well? You just buy Helmdom Shard and you're like overpowered or something. That might be a build to try. Chikiro, remove this. Twin Terror, Double Trouble. Damage penalty is decreased from 50 to 40 and improves even further by 5% per macro pile level. Okay, so you can hit really, really hard. I mean, basically, you hit really hard. Ice Path duration increased up to 6 seconds. Upon expiration, it detonates. What the heck? Dealing damage and stunning enemies for 0.5 seconds. 0.5 a second time. While the path exists, ability is replaced with a sub-ability, which allows Chikiro to detonate his Ice Path early. I mean, it seems really good, right? Because you stun them and then you don't... Okay, so you max Ice Path, you stun them, and then you... Isn't this just broken? This one seems broken, because it's a longer stun and you get to deal damage. I don't know, it seems... This might be broken. This one also seems not bad, but this might be broken. Needs Liquid Fire and Frost abilities not share cooldown. Both Liquid Fire and Liquid Frost abilities are now available to the hero at the same time. They have a shared level and cooldown. Now always attacks with his Ice Head first, then his Fire Head. This results in swapping special attacks. Liquid Frost is always applied with the first attack. Wait, so you just get both of these? Is Chikiro just completely broken? What am I missing? This facet with like this seems broken. I could be crazy. With Ami Slash got 100 attack cast range, which is actually huge. Ag slightly nerfed. Buff to 10 talent. Maybe, but no, probably nerfed to the 20 talent. Yeah. I don't know. Jug's probably about the same. Removed Mana Magnifier innate ability. New innate. Can't be leveled up. Keeper of the Light cannot go below 75 mana. What? Okay. Cooldown decreased on the Q by kind of a lot. Missed chance. Oh, no. On the W. Never mind. It's by 1 second. Kind of doesn't matter. And the ult is worse. Sure, this hero's probably trash still. Kez. Lost base armor, gained base and lost 5 movement speed, removed Hero of the Flightless facet. Didn't you just not have a facet? Kez deals 12% more damage on the first attack or ability after switching to Katana. Gains 12% movement speed bonus for 2 seconds after switching to Sai. I mean, both of those sound just really great. Kind of crazy, actually. Triggering a Shoto Sai mark from invisibility deals 50% more critical damage. When Kez triggers mark, reduce the cooldown of both Shoto Sai and Kazure Katana by 20, 30, 40, 50%. I mean, that seems... I don't play a lot of Kez, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really fully understand this hero, but this one seems really great. Can't you just, like, switch to get movement speed? That seems kind of nuts. Katana bonus damage decreased from 20% to 12. That's kind of rough. No longer grants flat lifesteal. Lifesteal on attack rescaled. Okay. Nerfed. Cast range on the katana. Oh, Aghanim Shard cast range on the katana. I don't know. Oh yeah, this is the one where you like stab the ground. It's to like proc it early or something. No longer provides debuff immunity and a hard dispel. Now provides a basic dispel and 0.1 invulnerability period on cast. And complete magic immunity for the duration. Okay, so you can stun him, basically. Okay, so just stun Kez, thank God, honestly. Can now change targets while rushing. Oh, that's nice. But he lost range. Attack rate increased, which is a bad thing. Bad thing, and I think this is a good thing. This hero is so weird, man. I don't know. Now deals physical damage. No longer slows. Okay, sure. Kunkka, did he get anything interesting? 15-second Admiral Rum. That's kind of boring. Snooze, snooze, snooze. Legion. 1 base strength. Now if Legion, this is a new facet. If she wins, automatically cast Prestige attack on her and all assisting allies. I mean, it already did that on her, right? Or did they get rid of that? I think they got rid of it. Okay. But I mean, the problem is you're taking this over the shield one, which is still good. Mana cost on the Q is better. That's nice. At level 1, worse than max. Okay, no longer cast Prestige attack on victory by default. Oh, it did do it. Now, oh, so it's a nerf. And they nerfed the cast range on the ability. Duration is buffed at level 1, but it's worse max. Kind of weird. Leshrac, Chronopic Nourishment, damages mana restore, increased. Way better at max. Holy. I think it's right-click damage, though, by 12% at max. It's the same early on, though. It's probably not that good. AoE per intelligence increased from 0.4 to 0.7. That seems insane, right? What in the world? Level 15, 10% movement speed to 10% damage reduction? Level 20, 20% damage reduction during Pulse Nova replaced with Diabolic Edict hits an additional target. That's probably not that good. I guess it's okay. It's alright. It's alright. Lich, Frost Shield. No! Don't nerf my Frost Shield. Nerf all the other noobs who don't understand how good this ability is. Ugh. Cast range by 200, brutal. Duration by 1 second, brutal. Sinister Gaze costs less mana. It drains more mana. No longer deals damage to creeps. Now requires Aghanim Scepter to cast other abilities during channeling. Okay, that was rest in peace Shard combo. Like, completely rest in peace. Bounce distance decreased on Chain Frost. Yeesh. Now the Spire is damaged by 1 hero attack damage every time Chain Frost bounces off of it. Oof. Effect radius decreased. Okay, I mean... 100 Chain Frost incremental damage is probably better than unlimited bounces against good players. I mean, this is probably kind of insane, right? Like, it's a lot. It's like up to 900 damage or 1,000 or something. Yeah, I want to say Lich is probably still good. Honestly, probably worse. I think what's going to happen is he's going to stay broken in low MMR and, like, lose win rate in high MMR. That's my guess. Life Sealer, 5 movement speed. Flesh Feast. Max HP per hero kill increased by a lot, depending on current level of Infest. Cooldown is reset if a hero dies while afflicted. That's kind of nice. Not that good though. This one's probably pretty bad. Allows the ability to be used on ancient creeps. Consuming creep drenches affected enemies in blood for 3 seconds. Drenched enemies take damage equal to 25% of the host's remaining health over the duration. Okay. Probably a good amount of damage. When cast with Aghanims, Gorstorm damage is equal to 25% of the damage done to the hosted enemy hero by Lifestealer over the 25% of the damage done to the hosted enemy hero by Lifestealer over the oh, I see. Okay. Max health gained now added to the post-game screen. Very cool. Can no longer be casted on ancient creeps by default. Infested creep now loses a percentage of max HP. Okay. The Lifestealer mainly just nerfed. Pretty hard, actually. I'm assuming he just has rage now. Rest in peace, Unfettered. Lina, nerf Fiery Soul. Now it upgrades Laguna. 75% of the damage dealt is converted to the barrier. The dog shit. Okay, this hero's dead. Thank God. Mana Drain no longer instantly kills illusions. Oh, big nerf to the Lion Drain. You get 20 movement speed at 10. It's pretty nice. Level 15. Helen back debuff. That's got to be trash. Lone Druid is Agi. Removed Unbearable. No one even took that. It's the fastest name, not the description. That's pretty funny. Stat bonus increased by a lot. Is Bare Necessities back? 15% better at level 1? Damn. What was it when it was really broken? It was something like that, right? Or was it like 55? I feel like maybe it was like way higher, actually. Gift Bearer. Lone Druid Spear Bearer receives a copy of his neutral item. This copy has an independent cooldown of the main one. Independent. Oh, so you get 2? Probably pretty broken. Now follows global lifesteal rules. This might be broken, right? You just get an independent cooldown? Probably overpowered. Maybe. Damage reduction increased on the Moon Shield. It's pretty nice. It's just a better ability. Hero's probably still bad. Hightail on Alpha Wolves is 2 seconds worse. And the Magic Resist is better early on, worse later. Probably still broken, honestly. I mean, Alpha Wolves' Lycan is probably still incredible. 2 different facets on Magnus. Increases the max level of Shockwave to 5. Number of times plus 2 all attributes can be skilled. Decreased from 7 to 6. Sure. Level 5 makes the Shockwave return once it reaches the max distance, coming back dealing 50% of the damage on the way back. So that was the Shard. So now it's just a facet, which is okay. Ability is always enabled on Magnus. This is Empower. Every one of his subsequent attacks increases his self bonus by 2, 3, 4, 5%, up to a max of 10, 15, 20, 25. It's all right. Each stack refreshes the duration. Duration of what? Oh. The buff. Bonus per hit and max bonus scale with the level of Empower. I mean, this seems like a lot. 25%, just more damage, and I assume it works on creeps. So this one's probably just very, very good. This one is also just super solid though, you know, because it's not like it makes you not be able to take your other abilities. It just gives you a better, shockwave when you can skill it up. So pretty nice. I would say both of these facets seem very good to me. I don't exactly know which one's better. As I said, they both seem better. This one's better if you're hard carry, I would say, and better if you're more of like an offlaner or mid. But they nerfed Shockwave mana cost by a lot, actually. Skewer now deals a percentage of the distance traveled as damage, no longer deals damage per tree cliff hit. Upgraded with Aghanim Shard, increases skewer range by 275 and deals an additional 30 damage per tree and 125 damage per cliff hit. 30 damage per tree seems kind of insane sometimes. Like, if you bring people through trees on this hero, they just get annihilated. Yeah, I wonder of distance traveled. I wonder if this is like good or not. It's probably pretty comparable to what it was. Marcy now has 3 different facets. Wow. Bodyguard. While Bodyguard and Marcy and her partner share 100% of health healed by this ability with each other. Oh, does she just have Bodyguard now? So I guess Bodyguard is just an ability now. Maybe? Pick Me Up adds an all cast, which allows Marcy to bring the target ally with her to her final destination. The ally deals 25% of the rebound damage to enemies. Okay, that's kind of interesting. If Marcy has Unleash leveled, after landing for rebound, Marcy gains a Short Fury combo. If Unleash is already active, its duration is extended by 3 seconds. This combo has 3 hits instead of 5, and Aghanim Scepter doesn't apply silence to it. I mean, that's really nice, actually. I mean, basically, it just gives you, like, this burst of hits with your W, which is, like, kind of good. This one seems really strong, too, though. While Bodyguarded, Marcy and her partner share 100% of health healed by this ability, I mean, that could be pretty solid. It's probably a lot of healing, especially in the laning stage. Special Delivery. Now, as an active component, you can bring your courier to yourself immediately. That's pretty strong, actually. Like, in the laning stage, getting your bracer or whatever much quicker is just kind of a big deal. Rebound, mana cost is worse. The movement speed is worse. Aghanim Shard no longer decreases cooldown. Aghanim Shard now increases damage. Seems pretty garbage. Don't buy the shard. Bodyguard no longer provides... Do you just not have Sidekick anymore? It seems like you just have Bodyguard. Now provides a selected ally with 75% of the lifesteal and damage bonus. No longer provides armor. I feel like the way to go is just going to be... It's either going to be this Fleeting Fury seems pretty strong, honestly. It's probably really good for just, like, killing subs. Or this Buddy system seems really good. Probably Buddy system is going to be what people take, I think. Mars, Victory Feast, Arena of Blood now provides 50% of the bonuses to all allies that are in the arena when enemies die inside of it. Now affects only Mars himself. Radius decreased from 2,000 to 900. HP regen per extra enemy increased from 30% to 50%. What is this? I think if you're close to people, you get extra HP regen, I believe. Medusa has a new facet. Base movement speed increased from 275 to 310. Medusa's movement speed is fixed and unaffected by most effects. I guess that means like boots? Okay. So you can get... Sure, that's so bizarre. Now, Split Shot can be upgraded by Ags. Allows on-hit effects to apply the secondary attacks from Split Shot and increases the target count by 1. Okay, so you can buy Ags to like... So what is the build gonna be... Oh, you can go Mjolnir Ags. Might be good. Mjolnir Ags Scotty? Guys, try Mjolnir Ags Medusa. It actually might be insane, honestly. I think that... It might be insane. I actually want to try it really bad. That sounds really fun on the timing. And you can do it with this facet and just not buy boots. Maybe. Problem is 310 is kind of The thing is with boots, you're still like 310. I don't know. Who knows? Could be cool. More Meepo. Number of times 2 all attributes can be skilled decreased. Okay. All Meepos have a stackable aura that increases nearby Meepos attack speed by 7% and armor by 2. I mean, that's nice. Updated to the new neutral crafting system, increases selection of artifacts and enchantments from 4 to 5. Very nice. Facets, Starstruck. Starstorm's second meter deals more damage and blinds the target. Second meter damage 100%, blind mischance. Blind chance is really long. I mean, that's kind of nice. It's like a lot of extra damage on the hero. Upon landing, leap roots target in a 250 radius. I guess you can root people and hit them? This one seems really good though. It's just mischance and like, it's just really good for trading in the lane. It just gives like 60% mischance. Like this is just an insane laning ability. Like the second meteor damage just increased from 80 to 60. So basically like you just have to take, I mean, you basically just have to take this, but this seems really broken. Healing Lotus effectiveness from 20% better to 50. Damn. If you get Lotuses on Mirana, they're just completely broken. I mean, I don't know. Mirana might be overpowered, like just straight up. This facet seems really broken for trading and just like its general scaling in the game seems quite nice. You have to take it. This is good. Movement speed is worse. Aghanim Shard no longer increases leap distances, no longer creates a damaging wave. Now grants 1 leap charge. Attacks during leap buff critically strike for 150% damage. Wow. So you also get, you just get like a crit. You just get a crit during, isn't that insane? Does it still give the, does the shard still affect the Starstorm too? That would be overpowered. Moonlight Shadow now also increases Mirana's outgoing damage by 9, 12, 15% of the duration. That seems really good. I don't know, this hero might be broken, honestly. I think I'm gonna play it. Seems really good. And you get Starstorm cooldown as well at 10. Wow. I don't know, this hero might be insane. Simian Stride increases the max level of Tree Dance to 5 number of times. Okay. Level 5 reduces Tree Dance cooldown to 0. Ah, I see. So you don't get it. You don't get it level 1, but it's like, it's just permanent. So what, it can't be disabled? It's just like, you can just jump around once you get to level 5? It seems kind of insane, right? Can it be disabled? Now scales with Wukong's command. Cooldown reduced. Movement speed increased. Sure. He gets 10 damage at level 10. That's kind of nice. It's actually a very good talent for this hero. Removed Adaptive Strike strength ability as it merged with an agility one. Oh, did you lose Flow? I thought Flow was really cool. Now attacks all targets it goes through with 50% of your attack damage. No longer knocks them back. Changes Morphling's primary attribute to Strength. Gains 1% Spell Amp per 4 agility. Spell Amp effect is breakable. Stuns enemy target. Oh, so you get Amp instead of CDR. That's boring. Kind of sad. I thought this was a really cool facet. I'm sad that why would they change it? It was really cool. No longer grants bonus stats from all attributes. Now talent trees all attribute bonuses, provides an additional +3 to Morphling's primary attribute. Okay, so you can get I mean, that does seem like much worse, right? Because instead of getting 6 all stats, you get 3. Or 3 stats total. Waveform no longer attacks enemies by default. It seems like they kind of nerfed the hero, right? His mana cost shift is way more expensive at level 1. That really sucks. I mean, I don't know what I'm missing. Morphling now keeps his attributes while morphed. This hero might be just beyond terrible. Muerta. Lost some base int. Removed her Ags. Deadshot can be upgraded by Ags. Increases the damage. Deadshot AoE expands after it ricochets and pierces through enemy heroes as it fears them. What, so you just get like a... Deadshot can just keep going? I don't know. Is that the idea? Sure. Secondary shot now prioritizes heroes, then non-hero units, then buildings. I mean, that seems like a huge buff, actually. Oh, but they nerfed the chance, which kind of makes sense. I mean, it's almost the same in max. That's pretty strong, though, that it prioritizes heroes. It's actually really strong, especially in the lane. But that's probably why they nerfed it. You're so smart, Valve. They nerfed the 10 talent. They gave her, or 150. Oh, you can take health. This Deadshot cast range is so good, though. This is just like a core talent. But you can get 3% max HP regen while in the calling at level 15. That's pretty strong. It actually might be worth it, but the problem is the other talent is the gunslinger damage. Bonus evasion per other Naga increased from 6 to 8. That's actually really high. And you can get pull-in speed. 100 pull-in speed seems actually really high as well. These are probably pretty big buffs. Nature's Prophet is now universal. His damage level 1 is the same. I'm biased. I always love reading all the changes because I love this hero. You got more damage per level, or damage gain per level. Base damage decreased by 2, but the damage is the same. More damage per level. Soothing Saplings. Allied Tangos provide double the heal duration when consuming a tree created by Sprout, similar to when targeting an Iron Branch. This used to be just part of Sprout, then they got rid of it. Tree Multiplier rescaled from ×2 to ×4. Wow. So it's not nearly as good at max, but it's way better in the early game. Now scales with Wrath of Nature. Bonus damage per tree rescaled from it's 2 to 4. Oh, but the radius. I mean, this seems kind of insane because you're going to be you're just going to get way more trees. Basically, it's worse with treants, but if you're close to trees, it's kind of broken. I don't know, this might be insane that you're just getting ×4, so when you summon a greater treant, you're just getting double the damage. The problem is when you skill up treant, which I guess you would do at level 1, right? Because this is just innately. Maybe it's not that good. This one is okay. Double Tangos is nice. Maybe it's alright? Nah, probably not. Necrophos. Now also makes the enemy have their restoration amplification decreased by the same value as your gain. Oh, that's actually really good. Applies to, okay. And they reduced Heartstopper aura. They nerfed the radius, but made it better early game. Okay. Remove Blinding Void Facet. It actually had really good win rate. Night Rain changes Roshan first move to the top pit to be at 20 minutes instead of 15. Hunter of the Night is granted for free at level 1. Max level is now level 5. It's granted for free! Oh my gosh. And it's not that much worse. And you can just have 2 spells. I mean, this seems completely broken. I don't know. This has got to be broken. You just get a free point. I mean, it's worse, but really not by a lot. And it's better at max by 15 attack speed, which is great. Increases the number of max level void to 5. Level 5 deals 400 damage. It's not that good. Point target ability with 300 AoE. I see. Oh, that's pretty nice. You get AoE void. Oh, that's pretty good. Just for farming. But this is just I mean, I don't know. I feel like this hero is just going to have like some insane win rate because of this facet. Oh, you can get void cooldown. That's really good with this. Yeah, I mean, there's some potential with this facet, but this one's probably just too good. Nyx burns, mana burn, Mind Flare burns a percentage of the target's max mana. It's only Mind Flare, but it's their max mana, which is pretty nice. Cooldown decreased on the stun, so it's better. Mind Flare no longer instantly kills creeps. Max mana as damage increased, so it deals more damage. Bonus damage decreased from 25 to 20. So basically, Nyx can't jungle anymore, which makes the hero way worse. Probably going to fall out of the meta, honestly. Ogre Magi now grants less bonus movement speed. His 10 talents, oh, they just nerfed Ogre straight up. Omni Knight is about the same. Oracle's Clairvoyant Curse spell amplification increased per level by quite a lot. Maybe this, I thought this Fessa had a good win rate. Maybe it's just straight up good now. OD, max mana increase on proc, increased from 4% to 5%. That seems, I mean, this hero already had a good win rate in pubs. Astral Imprisonment cast range, oh, he lost his 200 health talent at 10. That kind of sucks. Maybe that sucks a lot, actually. Astral Imprisonment cast range is good, but I just don't think it's good enough. Pango lost his Rolling Thunder duration talent, replaced with attack damage and swashbuckle damage, which is not bad. I don't know, maybe it's okay. Okay, Phantom Assassin removed Veil 1 facet. Coup de Grace. Oh, they nerfed Methodical very hard. 75% nerf to the crit. Damn, this hero, that is killer. Whenever a dagger hits and does not kill an enemy, it leaves a stacking debuff that lasts for 6 seconds. When the unit dies, they launch 1 stifling dagger per stack at random. Enemies around the target prioritizing heroes. These daggers have 50% damage. It seems shit. Bonus evasion is worse. This hero's dead. Dead. Now isn't removed on attack by default. Crit, dead. Alright, PA is probably dead. I want to say. Phantom Lancer, base strength increased by 2. Wow, that's a lot. Big buff to PL. Copies, he has a new facet. Copies of Spirit Lance created deal 25% of ability damage. Oh, okay. Lance copies don't deal any damage to the enemy they bounce on with Aghanim Scepter. So if you have a ton of illusions and you throw a lance, it's just going to deal 1 billion damage, right? This might be insane. Because if you have like 6 illusions, your Q is just dealing like way more than double damage. Unless I'm misreading it. Isn't this broken? What am I, it seems broken. They nerfed the Ags, sort of. It bounces less, but the illusions deal 50% more damage. Illusions take less damage. Phoenix is now strength. Sunray now applies 2 times blinding sun stacks to the target near the end of the beam. Sheesh, he can really make people miss. I mean, it's pretty strong. Level 10 talent, Icarus dive damage per second to blinding sun mischance. Yeah, I mean, what is it usually? So it's usually 2%. Okay, so it's all right. I mean, it's not bad. Basically, you would take this if you're going to take Hotspot as well and just make people miss like crazy. Primal Beast lost Romp and Stomp. Now he has Provoked the Beast. In addition to stacks from hero damage, Primal Beast also gains 2 upper stacks upon being stunned, hexed, taunted, feared, or rooted. It's probably pretty bad. Pulverized AoE is now granted at the start of each slam instead of the end. I guess you probably take this one. I mean, I don't know. This one seems kind of bad. I guess matchup dependent, it's okay. Knockback radius and distance are no longer affected by AoE increase. No longer passively grants base damage. Slow per stack is nerfed. Early levels, better at max. Okay, I don't know. This hero's probably just terrible. He gets 20 damage at 10. I mean, that's nice. Puckish nerfed, Dream Coil slightly nerfed, Pudge, removed Flare's hook. Wow. Wow. Okay, that was a big deal for the hero. They buffed the fresh meat, which I'm pretty sure is terrible. While Rot is active, Pudge gains 4, 8, 12, 16% bonus attack damage every second, up to 20, 40, 60, 80 after 5 seconds. Once Rot is deactivated, damage bonuses rapidly decay. This seems really good. It's obviously not good on sup, but core Pudge probably cooks. You just buy Ag's Glimmer, you probably cook. So maybe sup Pudge is dead, which honestly, let's go. Now upgraded with Shard, the hook. When Meat Hook hits an enemy, it deals 20% of the pulled distance. When it hits an ally, Meat Hook's cooldown is reduced by... Oh, that's really fun, actually. So if you hook allies with the Shard, it's half cooldown. It's really nice. You can save like crazy. Dismember no longer upgraded Shard. Problem is, Sup Pudge just doesn't have a good facet. I mean, you probably just take this Rotten Core and you can like sort of farm with it. I mean, even on Sup, it probably makes you hit reasonably hard. I don't know, this facet seems really good. I'm gonna say Core Pudge is something people should look into. Pugna Life Drain no longer kills illusions, no longer restores mana. Ally Drain Heal is way better. So basically you heal like crazy on this hero, but you can't give mana. They buffed his 25 talent, which is actually really good. Okay, I mean, I don't know, I wouldn't say this is a nerf to Pugna. It just means you can't pick him with like Storm and try to be cheesy and you can't give mana to people, which kind of sucks, but you heal better, and I mean, you already healed like crazy, so it's kind of a lot. I don't know, this hero's probably good. Quap, outgoing spell damage reflected, so they nerfed her Masochist. Now it's a facet that improves Succubus. Now also makes Spell Life Steal apply to reflected magical and pure damage. Is this like good with Blade Mail? I'm not understanding this one. Succubus is now an 8. Now makes all sources of Spell Lifesteal apply to pure damage. Sure, so it works with your ult. Initial damage on Dagger is better. I mean, that's actually pretty significant. Razor, static link. Shard no longer pulls Razor and his target closer together. Instead, slows the target's movement speed by 1 times the amount of damage stolen while the link is active. That seems like a nerf. Strike damage is now classified as reflected. Sure. Ricky, Contract Killer, is better. And you get bonus XP for courier and ward kills. And this hero is really good at killing, well, both of those. Smokescreen no longer buffs allies. What? Used to provide an evasion bonus against attacks from enemies that stand outside of the smoke cloud. What? Oh, no wonder why this hero is so broken. What in the world? You could just put it on your allies and range heroes would miss? Oh, Lord. Another one of those things, like, I feel like I should have known that. No wonder why this hero was... I mean, I feel like its win rate's gonna, like, completely tank now. I mean, this is like a crazy significant bug. When Ricky kills a non-hero unit during Tricks of the Trade, the cooldown is reduced by 0.75. That's it? I guess if you have Ags and you kill a lot, it like super lowers the cooldown, so that's probably why it's okay. But they want people to try to deward and kill couriers, but it's just not enough, I think. I guess when you hit level 6, it's like kind of okay, but still, I'm not so sure. Oh, Ringmasters in Captain's mode. Frick, I'm gonna actually have to learn this hero, maybe. Facets, Carney Classics, sets Dark Carnival souvenirs to Funhouse Mirror, Strongman, Tonic, and Whoopee Cushion, so that's the OG. Or you can get 3 new ones. That's kind of cool. So they gave this hero a lot of stuff. Sets Dark Carnival souvenirs to Crystal Ball, Unicycle, and Weighted Pie. Scans the target area for 4 seconds, indicates whether there are enemy heroes in that area for the duration. It reveals invisible units and wards in the scan area. Whoa. But does not provide vision. What? It reveals wards, but does not provide vision of the... Oh, sure. Probably, I don't know. That's kind of weird. Global cast range. So you can scan globally. I mean, that's insane. Reveals invis units and wards. After 0.5 preparation, Ringmaster mounts a speedy unicycle to ride for 10 seconds. Crashing into trees destroys them and slows the unicycle. Attacking using abilities, taking damage, picking up runes, or crashing into units and other obstacles dismounts the ride. Okay, so you can ride around on a unicycle, which I'm guessing makes you faster. Probably. Weighted Pie. Tosses a pie into the target enemy, knocking them back and reducing their vision to 50. Vision recovers over 2 seconds, and the target's abilities won't provide their vision for them over the duration. Pie instantly kills any non-ancient creep. Instantly kills any non-ancient creep. I mean, that's really good against some heroes, of course. Range 750. It's pretty high. But of course, you only get these like off kills and assists, so they're not like completely broken or anything. I don't know, they're like both good. I would say it's actually hard to choose. I would maybe lean... Strongman Tonic is so good. I mean, so is Whoopee Cushion. I want to say this one is a little better. Crystal Ball is like just really useful if you're good. Weighted Pie is just, I don't know. They're probably pretty close. Okay, Rubik, slight buff to his crappy facet. Shadow Demon, hit damage decreased on Shadow Poison. Ulti duration decreased. They nerfed his Shard. Did they think this hero is broken in the pro scene? When did they... I don't know. It like really fell off in popularity, but they're nerfing it pretty hard. Shadow Fiend, no longer slows attack speed. Movement speed slow per stack. No longer slows attack speed. Movement speed per stack rescaled from 5, 6, 7, 8 to 3, 6, 9, 12. It's crap. Mana cost decreased from 75 to 60. Seems garbage. Removed Cluster Cluck. Grants chicken fingers. Passive. Attacking an enemy hero transforms them into a chicken with 100 movement speed for 1 second. I mean, Cluster Cluck has to be way better than turning them into a chicken for 1 second. I mean, I guess it just makes trading better. You just turn people into a chicken. I mean, it is a hex at the end of the day. You can hex and then hex. I mean, it's probably not bad, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, I mean, it's just an extra second of hex that you can chain stun. It's okay. Foul Play upgraded with Aghanim Shard increases damage reduction duration of 1.5. Adds invulnerability time upon triggering Foul Play. 3. Okay, so basically they made it the Shard. And you can use items while transformed. That's kind of crazy. You can upgrade Shackles with Aghanim Scepter. Increases cast range by 150. Shackled units expel an Ether Shock every 0.9 seconds that affects all enemies in 600 units for 100% of Ether Shock damage. Shackled units cannot be damaged by this effect. Also allows it to be cast on both enemies and allies, including Serpent. Allied units are not disabled, and the shackle is broken if they travel. I mean, it seems pretty good. Ether Shock every 0.9 seconds? I mean, its ability is really high damage. Did they get rid of the damage? Oh, so you get to level 25 with this Ags? I don't know, it seems pretty good, actually. I'm not sure, though. It's probably not worth it. Arcane Curse? Oh my lord. Silencer changes. Curses the area, dealing damage and causing enemies to take damage over time, slowing their movement speed. Silence enemies take 1.5% slow in damage. Anytime affected enemies cast a spell, the duration is increased. The duration is paused as long as the target is silenced. This is like the old ability, right? Yeah, so this is like the old ability. Compared to previous iterations, ability duration can now be decreased by status resist. Ooh. Glaives of Wisdom no longer silences enemies after hitting 4 times. Into damage percentage is way better at level 1. Whoa. From 20 to 35. Almost double at level 1. I wonder how good that is for trading. Last Word, ability reworked. Enchants a target, providing vision of them and causing them to be damaged and silenced if they cast a spell or if the enchantment timer expires. Isn't this just old Silencer? Deals extra damage based on the difference in int and between. Isn't this the old hero? Isn't this literally just the old hero? Int multiplier, sure. Silence duration pretty long. Cooldown goes all the way down to 10 seconds. That seems really low. Yeah, I mean, this hero's just gonna have, I don't know, maybe this hero's just kind of insane. I don't know if the glaives being 35% of level 1, it makes it like crazy as well. Global Silence 120, no longer applies to couriers. Arcane Curse damage replaced with Arcane Curse penalty multiplier. It's probably fine. And Last Word AoE at 20. I mean, back to old Silencer, I guess. Spell Lifesteal on Rune and Restoration. Okay, whatever. Arcane Bolt. It deals less base damage, but costs less mana. I don't know. Sky seems about the same. Leg Day is slightly better. Brine Guard is slightly better. HP regen on Seaborn Sentinel, which is what heals you when you're Slardar in Rivers, is slightly better. The bonus movement speed is worse. Bash no longer deals bonus damage to creeps. Trail duration on Corrosive Haze is worse. I don't know. Slaughter just seems like worse or about the same. Slark Dark Reef Renegade now causes Slark's attack to apply a non-stacking debuff that reduces the target's armor by 1, 2, 3, 4 for 2 seconds. Linger duration, does it also still have the other effect? Because then it's good, but if all it is, okay, does it give the hero armor reduction and the linger? Then it's not bad. Then it's like pretty solid. Depth Shroud. The shard is nerfed. Okay. Snapfire, they buffed a little shredder by a decent amount. Take Aim now has an overhead indicator, sure. They nerfed his 15 talent really hard. Damn. It's only during Take Aim now. That's terrible. Wow, that is awful. Okay. Spectre is now universal. Desolate deals 1.75 damage, but Spectre's illusions can no longer trigger Desolate. Well, that's kind of sad. I don't know. I feel like Mantis is just good on this hero regardless. But sure. I guess it's good with, like, Ags. No longer decreases cooldown. Yeesh. Rest in peace, Spectre. Dispersion way worse early on. Shadow Step worse. Oh, but the cooldown is just from 3 to 1.5. Oh, okay. I mean, I don't know, this Forsaken is actually pretty interesting. The build is probably something along the lines of like attack speed item Ags, Orchid Ags, something like that. I don't know, you could try that, guys. Orchid Ags, Spectre is probably pretty good. Spear Breaker, removed imbalanced. Bowls, hit. Very good. Yes. Bash chance increases if you've bashed more than one hero within the last 10 seconds. Each additional hero past the first increases greater bash chance by 17%. Bash chance increases if you've bashed more than one hero within the last 10 seconds. Each additional hero past the first. So don't you have to get really lucky? Planner Pocket is better. Sure. The shard, I think this is the shard, right? Oh, no. They changed it. It's the axe now. Okay, Storm, probably slight nerf. Sven got 1 armor. Lost some strength, lost some agi, got some strength gain. They buffed his facet back a little, probably not good enough. They buffed his stun, kind of. They changed cleave, but they made it better early on. They nerfed Warcry movement speed, but buffed the armor. I don't know, Sven still seems pretty irrelevant. Techies, Spoon Stash. Techies stack all previously selected enchantments onto newly crafted neutral item. Also allows to have 2 tier 5 enchantments by recrafting a tier 5 item. I think that's at minute 70 if I'm not mistaken. Techies stack all previously selected enchantments. I mean, that's kind of good. Minefield Sign, cast point decreased, also causes sticky bombs and proximity mines to deal 15% more damage. Wow, that's huge. Okay, big Techies buff there. TA got some agi gain. Hidden Reach, new facet. When in meld, Templar Assassin gradually increases her attack range by up to 400 range over the course of 1 second. I mean, it's okay, I guess. It's only over 1 second, which isn't bad. I don't know. It's like all right. It's probably not good enough though. Sideblade's range decreased. Spill amount also nerfed early on, especially in the laning stage. Okay, sure. Terrorblade, Metamorph duration increased on his Ags by 5 seconds. That's nice. Conjure Image cooldown at level 10. That's actually pretty good. Or you can get Reflection duration, which seems terrible. Okay. Krill Eater no longer reduces base strength. Damn, wait, so isn't it really good then? Kraken Shield now has 50% block value against creeps. Ooh, now it can be activated to double the block amount at the cost of 40% movement speed. Lasts 4 seconds. I mean, that's kind of nice. So you can block a lot for 4 seconds. But 50% value against creeps kind of sucks. It actually will hurt you in the lane early on. And it will definitely hurt you when you farm Ancients. I guess probably not by a ton, honestly. Twisted Chakram, mana cost increased, damage nerfed. Why did they do that? It was definitely not broken. Chakram, why did they nerf Timber? That is so bizarre. Tinker, they giga buffed his Ags. Holy yeesh. Okay. Tinker Ags is way better. Sure. Crash Landing, bonus landing damage decreased from 20, 25, 30, 35 to flat 20. Definitely fair. No longer deals bonus damage to tossed units. Damage on toss is better at max. I guess that's to balance out this like bonus landing damage. They also buffed the damage of Avalanche. So how much damage did he lose then? Like, the only problem is they also killed Kondo, which was the whole point of, okay, a big point of this build. I don't know. Is this hero still fine? I mean, they buffed the damage of 2 spells. Like, is it really that much less? No longer deals bonus damage to toss units. I didn't even know it did that. Aghanim Shard will not turn Treant Invis if he is currently attacking an enemy. Mana cost decreased on living armor. Heal per second increased. I mean, that's good for buildings. It actually is kind of a lot. Nothing too crazy for Treant, unfortunately. During Battle Trance, Troll Warlord has increased max fervor stacks and has no attack speed limit. Battle Trance grants allied heroes 50% of the attack speed bonus. Battle Trance max fervor stacks 15. No attack speed limit. What does that look like? That is actually ridiculous. What in the world? Look how fast you hit. I wonder if it makes the hero good. Like, but at what point do you break the cap? Like, what items do you need to get there to make this like worth the while? You know what I mean? I mean, I guess it's probably not that hard, right? I'm not exactly sure. The problem is I'm level 30 with like already 10 fervor stacks, so it's probably kind of fake. I'm not sure. Maybe it's good. Maybe it makes Mjolnir Troll like kind of viable, but Aghanim Shard no longer increases max stacks. Drinking Buddies has been buffed, but not by enough. Kick nerfed. Underlord, atrophy aura duration. Ugh. Okay. Undying, damage increased on decay by 10 at all levels. Kind of nice. Soul Rip mana cost better at level 1 by 20. That's a lot. Buff to the slow. Wow, big Undying buffs. Except the 10 talent is slightly worse. Ursa got slight nerfs, kind of weird. Venge, Retribution, bonus damage increase from 10 to 20. That seems really high. I think it's bonus damage against heroes that like just killed her. It's just 10% better now. It's kind of a lot. Veno seems about the same. Viper seems about the same. Visage, radius on Grave Chill increased by 50. Secondary target penalty decreased from 75 to 50. Wow, that seems really good, no? Penalty was decreased. Isn't this just broken? This seems really overpowered. I don't know. Visage might just be broken. Familiar Gold Bounty decreased from 70 to... Okay. I mean, I don't know. Sepulcher might be overpowered. This just seems like absurd, right? Void Spirit is a little bit better. Warlock, base damage increased by 3. Damage at level 1. Why is Warlock getting buffed? Okay, the slow linger duration decreased from 3 to 1. So I guess it's not... I mean, I don't know. It's just like 3 damage in the lane. That's pretty nice. Swarm, attacks to destroyed from 6688 to 6789. For heroes, increased from 3344 to 3445. I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, it's actually a huge deal. It's a big buff for Weaver, like, for sure. Just the fact that at level 2 Swarm, it takes, right, that extra hit, it makes such a big difference. And at max, it's an extra hit as well, is really nice. Okay, Wind, Universal. Shackle Shot applies to all units and trees behind the target. Each granting Wind Ranger bonus attack damage for 6 seconds. Each shackled hero provides 12, 20, 28, 36 damage, while trees and other units provide 50% less. Primary Shackle Shot target doesn't provide any damage. I mean, that seems pretty good. The arrow instantly executes enemies below a certain health threshold. Execute threshold linearly increases with the channeling time. Minimum execute threshold, max threshold 9, 10, 11, 12. Health for execution is calculated after the arrow hits. So if someone is low, you can kill them with Power Shot. I don't think it's very good though. This one seems kind of insane. Mana cost on Power Shot, better at level 1, worse in max. Winter Wyvern has a Winterproof. Can be cast on buildings. Chosen building isn't healed, but still protected from physical damage. Affected units or buildings gain 60% bonus attack damage after the cocoon thaws for 6 seconds. If the building is under effect of both Cold Embrace and Glyph, the buff duration is paused. Lane creeps don't have this interaction. Affected units or buildings have 60% bonus attack damage after it thaws for 6 seconds. Does that work on heroes? Units? I can give my allies 60% bonus attack damage? Am I reading that correct? Winter's Curse makes all affected enemies take 125% of physical, magical, and pure damage from Winter Wyvern. Whenever the cursed enemy dies, Winter's Curse is recast on the lowest health enemy hero affected by the curse. The recast has a minimum, maximum, and bonus durations equal to 50% of the default spell. I mean, so basically, like, Wyvern can cook people, and if you hit a good curse, it's just gonna, like, team wipe the enemy. Eldworm Scholar now applies to Shrines of Wisdom instead of removed Wisdom Rune. What does this do again? When a Shrine of Wisdom grants experience to allies, Winter Wyvern shares the knowledge with her entire team, granting 20% of the experience each of the 3 heroes that did not collect the initial bonus. Alright, it's not that good. Affected units no longer take increased magical and pure damage bonus from Winter Wyvern by default. I see. That's what makes this Winterproof more balanced. I don't know. I mean, if this just gives... Does this just give, like, 60% bonus damage to allies? Like, heroes? Is that a... I mean, that's just flat. No way. What in the world? It works on heroes. It just gives them... What? Isn't that... I mean, that seems kind of OP. What the heck? It just gives you 60% attack damage for 6 seconds? You get the shard, you lower it by 4 seconds? Damn, I don't know. That seems like crazy. I mean, the thing is, this fast, it's also really good. But this one, you can just use it on buildings? I don't know. This seems pretty broken. I'm going to have to try this for sure. Witch Doctor removes Voodoo Festeration. Unlucky. Nerf. 8-second Maledict duration. Oh my god. Wraith King. Oh my gosh, we're almost at the end, guys. Can you believe it? We've almost made it to the end of the patch. It's been a great patch. I'm actually really excited to try a lot of stuff. Been a pretty damn cool patch so far. But Wraith King. Hero kills now give 2 skeleton charges. Level 10 talent. Wraithfire blast damage replaced with Bone Guard duration and cooldown. It's really good. Level 20 attack speed replaced with 5 Bone Guard skeletons spawn. Spectral Dagger. Spectral Blade curse damage. First cooldown. Okay, I don't know. I mean, this seems pretty good. Bone Guard is probably just kind of broken. This 10 talent is just so good. Like, this one is so good. It's sad to lose 60 attack speed, though. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, Zeus, min damage on static field from 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4 Max damage increased. Are they buffing Livewire? Why is Livewire better? Okay, so Livewire is just better. Divine Rampage is way better. So if you get kills with your ult, it just gets way better. Okay, but they nerfed the mana cost of the Q at max by a lot and the jump radius. They nerfed Heavenly Jump distance at level 1. It's not that bad. Damn, I mean, Livewire is just 1% better early game if you're close. And I mean, this is like a big number. Like, just for reference, guys, 1% on static field is your level 25 talent. And now it's just like a buff that he's been given. Imagine like heroes just got their 25 talent. I mean, it wasn't like an insane 25 talent, but you get the point. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Zeus is probably just like still I mean, he's just a better support now. Like a much better support now. He's just going to trade even better. And you could say, oh, but his Q is worse, but like you don't max the Q. I mean, sure, the E is worse, but just not by a lot. But all right. Yeah, that's the end of the patch. I have no clue how long that took me. I'm going to assume that was probably close to 2 hours, probably longer. But yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to break this down. There's so much to talk about. There is so much to try. And that's great. Shout out to Valve for doing an incredible job. This really is a very exciting patch with a ton of cool things to try, a lot of things to experiment with, new facets, a lot of respectable nerfs, some weird ones. Why did Timber get killed? But yeah, there's some great heroes to try. Zeus is going to be cool to try. Jakiro. I'm definitely going to forget a lot. This Faceless Void with Time Zone is going to be cool. Enchantress is way better. I mean, there's a lot. Dragonite with some of his different facets. Doom with his new facet buffs. This kinetic fence buff seems pretty huge to me. Yeah, I mean, Dazzle is a completely different hero. So there's a lot of great stuff here, and the map is different. So that's going to completely change how the game is played. You're going to have to use the rivers. You're going to have to map out better ways to move around the map with that bonus movement speed coming into play. I mean, there's so much to cover. So if you're going to be overwhelmed by it, don't worry. Speed Dota is here to cover your back. I'm going to be covering everything that you need to know more and more, because obviously these patch breakdowns, I can't exactly say how good everything is going to be for sure. I can give my opinion on it, and I'm usually pretty decent at it, but as time goes on and as things prove themselves or fall off, I'll keep you guys updated on this channel. Tomorrow's video is going to be probably top 5 or top 10 builds, heroes to try, and I'm really excited to make that video. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one, and I'm out. Peace.
And that's all. But remember, before you leave, before you tune out, subscribe to the Game Leap website, where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.